is dangerous.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world. Yep. What's up? It's your boy Humble Dad back with another edition of Humble Dad Podcast. Got a great show for you this evening. We're gonna be talking about It Must Be the Money, so you know it's gonna be good, right? Shout out to the ladies that decided, you know what I'm saying, not to be here this evening for this education that we're about to deliver. And so, but before we get started, the reason why we're having this conversation is Ms. Taken had some questions that she wanted answered as it relates to the financial, responsibility versus the man and the woman. How would that kind of interact, or what would that look like as it relates to rearing the children? If I'm wrong, if that's not right, then Ms. Taker, you're always welcome to let me know, and I'll correct myself. And so Lost in Translation began to provide her an answer. She disagreed. We didn't have a lot of time to get into it. And so that's why we're coming up with the topic. And it's just fairly interesting that they're not here this evening. But we're going to rock with who we got, right? And the question that we have for this evening is, if you could win a gold medal in any sport, what would it be? You know what I'm saying? And I have an idea that I know what Prototypes is. So we're going to bring him to the stage. What up, my guy?
What's good?
Chilling, man. What's going on with you?
Man, just chilling, dog.
That's what's up.
If I was to win a gold medal in any sport, I don't know. There's so many options. Beach volleyball, golf, something chill. Nothing that's going to exert too much energy. You know what I'm saying? Because I just don't want to do nothing too much. That's going to exert too much energy. I just want to chill.
But it's the Olympics. What you mean?
No. Like beach volleyball for the scenery or something like that.
But beach volleyball is a lot of energy. Like,
it's all right. I just be playing around though. I don't take it that serious. You know what I'm saying?
He's trying to win a gold medal though.
Yeah. I want to just leisurely win it. I don't want to, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to exert mad energy trying. Now, if it's a Super Bowl, that's different. You know what I'm saying? But we just talking about the Olympics. You know what I mean? So I would want to do something like to get in the environment and just really chill. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, be cool about it. So go.
I thought it was gonna be powerlifting is what I thought she may say.
Nah. That's gonna take too much energy. I'm good. Let me win it doing something easy, nice and chill. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the gold medalist and
volleyball is chill.
And slow walking. You know what I'm saying? And playing paper football or something like that. That's what I want to win.
That's crazy. Maybe it would have been breakdancing for you.
Nah.
Appreciate you being here, my guy. Hey, and welcome to the stage, none other than the voice himself, Lost in Translation. What's up, my guy?
Humble Dad, how are you, sir?
I'm good. And yourself, bro?
I am well. Good to be back, man. Good to see you, man.
You too, bro. Good to see you. What you got, man?
Man, if I could win a gold medal in an Olympic sport, it would have to be the hammer toss. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll probably win that thing too, man. I'm pretty strong, man. I can probably throw that hammer, man. You know what I'm saying?
Did you watch it?
Yeah,
that was crazy.
I can probably win the hammer toss, man.
The men and the women, it was pretty good. Yeah. Why the hammer toss?
Because, man, that's something where you can leverage your strength, man. You get the right momentum going. You get to turning and spinning it and launch that thing as far as you can. Yeah, I can probably get away with that, man.
That's crazy. He said I can probably win it. So you could have won it this year.
I probably could have won that thing, man.
That's what
I want for the sign up for water polo, you know what I'm saying? But that hammer toss, Yeah, that hammer toss.
Not synchronized swimming or nothing.
No, I can't do synchronized swimming. I probably drown out there, man. I'd be embarrassed in the USA, man. You know.
That's what's up. Appreciate you, homie.
Thank you.
Hey, and welcome to the stage. None other than the voice of reason, Mr. Sir Hale in the building. What's up, homie?
What's going on, Humble Dad? How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, bro.
Hey, what's happening, Sir Hale?
Hey, what's going on?
Appreciate you for being here, my guy.
Listen, I'm all discombobulated, so I'm not sure what the question is, but it sounds
no
like...
worries. You want me to tell you?
Yes, if I can win gold in the Olympics, what would it be?
That's right.
Okay, if I could do that, you know what I mean? With I got multi-skills. Us dark-skinned bald head guys, we're just multi-talented. But if I had to select one, I would say I definitely want to I would run track. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
What event?
I don't know. I run track. I don't know which one.
Like,
man.
it's a lot of
just when they run. That's all I know. Humble Dad. I don't know very much else about it.
You got 100. You got the 2. You got the 4. You got the 8. You got the 1500. You got the hurdles. You got the 110.
All of them. Humble Dad. I want to run all of them.
I would have thought you would have picked not growing a beard contest. That's what.
That's crazy. You see why you get in shit like that?
As you guys can see, I don't watch too much sports.
That's your event right there. Not growing a beard.
That's messed up. That's real messed. But if it was one though, I probably would win.
That's what I'm saying. That's the one you should go for.
That's hilarious. That's what's up. I think for me, it would definitely be track, and then I would want to definitely hoop. I would definitely want to play basketball for sure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for sure. They don't have singing or dancing or nothing like that in the Olympics, right? But they brought
breakdancing.
Yeah, they did do breakdancing, but I'm talking about that. Listen, breakdancing wasn't too bad. It was just Australia made it look bad.
Yeah,
made it look bad, and so they're not bringing it back.
I don't know how that was a sport, but we got it.
Yeah, I don't know either, bro. But the people that did it did well. But she made a mockery of it for sure. All right, so we're gonna get started, man. So hell, these questions kind of derived from Miss Taken had a question last week as it related to the responsibility of the man and the woman when they both are working and how does that filter into how much interaction they have with the kid. Not interaction, but how much of the raising of the kid takes place. So how can you get to 50%, I guess, is really what I guess she was trying to say, or why would a guy think that he doesn't have the responsibility once he comes home as the same as his wife? So that's kind of what it leaned towards. And so Lost in Translation was saying it's about the money. It's whoever, and Lost, you can kind of elaborate on it. It's like, if he's making the majority of the money, then it would make more sense for you to probably more than likely be spending the majority of the time, that majority of like time with the kids versus him, because if he takes off, y'all lose more money. So that was kind of the thought process behind that. So we'll get into it, and we'll start with the question like this, because women always talk about that they don't want to date no broke man. So what is considered broke? I'm interested into knowing what is broke, because I have my thought process, but I'm curious to know what y'all think that you would say, or what the women would say. Let's start with you, Prototype.
I would say broke is living on somebody else's dime, staying on somebody's couch.
Okay.
That's broke. You know what I'm saying? When you're couch crashing, you broke.
So if they have a job, but if they have a job and they're living with somebody else, would that be?
If you do not have a residence of your own, you are broke. That's it. Like if you can't take care of yourself, You broke.
Okay. We'll stay right there. Okay, what you got on it, Lost?
Most of the time when women are talking about guys who are broke is the guys who don't want to, pay for stuff that they want. You know what I'm saying? It's, they'll call you broke if you don't want to buy them that particular purse they have, or if you don't take them to the exact restaurant they want to go to, at that particular moment in time, they call you broke. So anytime their money is not going to be able to lift whatever it is they need to lift, or if you make the same amount of money as them or less, then you're considered broke in their eyes.
So just to restate, so you're saying that a woman thinks a man is broke if he doesn't buy what she wants.
Correct.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put that in my chamber. All right. Sir Harold, what you got? What is considered broke?
Well, if you broke, just say it.
Yeah.
I just made me think about. I hear so many ladies say that. So a couple things. To me, broke. So it depends on what age we're talking about. If we're talking about, let's say, under 24, well, broke is different than you over 30. So here's my definition of broke. Broke speaks to mentality. You're broke in terms of money speaks to mentality. So if you say broke, in my mind, I don't think that you have the cognitive skills and the discipline it takes to put yourself in a position where you can take care of yourself. Now, here's the caveat to that. I have an older brother, and he just bought a trailer, and I'm going to be buying a trailer. And so when I go to Chicago, I ain't got no place I'm on. I craft on his couch, but your boy well paid. What we're learning to do, however, is save money. Like other cultures, they get together, they pool their money together, they pay off one property, they take that money, buy another property, and then over 10 years, they got a whole community. And so what we're doing is we're changing our mindset around money, and the goal is for all of us to win, right? Now, so when women talk about broke, it's what Lost in Translation said for sure. You know what I mean? If we can't buy the lobster and the steak and the Birkin bag, then listen, they can't buy for themselves and they not broke. But if you can't do it, just say you broke. So it speaks to lifestyle more so than the ability to take care of like the necessities.
That's what's up. I appreciate that. Dwayne, what's up with you, homie?
What's going on, beautiful people?
Chilling. Turn your mic down a little bit.
Nice.
Listen, just know that's what's going to happen when you come up here. You got to turn your mic down. But you did well at not being on mute, though, so I must commend you on that. Okay? You wasn't mute Jones. Yeah, you wasn't mute Jones today. So the question is, what is considered broke? From your perspective or a woman's perspective?
Broke is not being able to trick because you ain't got it. Okay. It's not being able to do what you want to do when you want to do just because you want to do it. I say the limit to a man's aspiration is his capital.
Why are y'all defining broke by what women think broke is?
I didn't say nothing about no women. I didn't say nothing.
That's a woman's definition.
That's my
tricking. Tricking means it pertains to women, right? So why do a woman play a part in if you're broke or not? Like, why do they have anything to do with the definition of you being broke?
You know what? Let me consult Urban Dictionary real quick. Because
Why
maybe
consult the dictionary. Allow me to retort. The reason why we use women as the definition or the people who set the standard is because most men really don't care how much money they make. Yeah, as long as they got enough to take care of them, they really don't care about all this other stuff, man. It's just like, hey, I got it. And I'm living. I got my own wheels. I got my own place. I got my own cars, clothes, all of that stuff. But when it comes to being broke, that's when you don't give the money to them or buy what they want. That's when you consider broke. Most guys don't need all of the extracurricular stuff. We good, But it's when you need to provide something for them, then you're broke. Because think about it. You can have a guy who's debt free, have no car payment, have no house payment, no none of that stuff. He got money. He just ain't got money for her.
Shout out to Prototype. You're right again. Okay, that government female is in the definition of tricking, as I referred to Urban Dictionary. So let me go ahead and remove that one, right? Because sometimes we be trying to show out for the fellas too, right? So in that, I know we say it like that, but we be just trying to flash. Like, I don't know, like who do we buy the watches for? Like, I guess that's just me. Like, who do we buy some of the fancy? Sometimes it's to show out to the dudes as well. So it's not just the female. So I'll put that out there. So
having females is also showing off to dudes.
Repeat that again.
Having females is also showing off to other dudes.
Almost definitely.
So I mean,
I'm talking about the good.
But getting the girls that's going to make you look good in front of your peers. You know what I'm saying? You trick to the girls, and I mean, but I see that, but we're not, showing off for guys like you're about. Like, we're not tricking on guys. Like,
no, I mean, okay, so I'll put it like this. There was a dude I worked with that had a thing for watches. I couldn't care less about him, right? But he knew what they were. Once he told me he's spending $5,000, $10,000 for some watches, I was like, man, you crazy. But in a specific sphere in which he is in, that means something. There's value to that.
Hold on, man. Hold on. You're not a watch guy? Humble, can we take a few moments in solemn prayer for Brother Dwayne? Because a good watch will change your life. A solid watch? Man, please.
You know what? That's probably my problem, because that's why I was late. Okay.
Because you ain't got no good watch.
Listen, every man needs to have a good watch, a good pair of shoes. Come on, it's some things you need.
No,
it's not to impress per se. It's really to make you feel good, because when you feel good, you smell good, you walk in good, you exude a different level of confidence. Now, I'm with you for the most part. I don't do nothing for no. Listen, I don't give a care what no brother think. All the stuff that I got on, I've been having for multiple years, and I still keep it clean up. I don't care what. But when I put on a watch, when I got on some nice shoes, and I put on me some of that, you know what I mean? That good cologne. Yeah. I feel better. And when I feel better, there's a different level of confidence. So some things you do because of you. And now I will say this to Prototype's point. I think men impress in terms of skills. Like, men, we like to impress in terms of skills. Like, if you think about sports, you get good because you want to show off what you do, let people know that you dominate in your craft. But in terms of things, I don't know that, except for like expensive cars, maybe. I don't know that men do things like women do to impress men that way.
I think it may be an age group then, like, because I'm very aware of when we were younger and Jordan was a big deal, right? Shoes, period, was a big deal, and shoes was not being bought to impress women. They were typically bought to impress whoever was going to be looking at their shoes. So that's anybody that's coming to the schoolyard, right? But then as you get older, and I think it comes with a sense of maturity, probably, that we try to impress others in some other aspect, whether it's in the podcast world, whether it's when we having a conversation and what particular vernacular we choose to use, whether it's the degrees that we may hold or not hold, right? So men, we do try to impress people. You know what I'm saying? You can't say that we don't. But as it relates to being considered broke, though, like I think it's definitely like what Sir Hale said. It's a mindset, right? Because if we look to any of the demographics as it relates to professional sports, most of them are broke, even though they are high earning individuals, right? And then there's a study, if I'm not mistaken, that people, when they win the lottery, they go broke again within like 5 years. Is it 3? Right. So that meant that they didn't have any financial savvy whatsoever. So, but there are people that are able to operate on a $50,000 to $60,000 a year salary and don't have all of the watches or the shoes, or they just very common, if you will, or very simple, if you will. And so they're able to maximize their money and be able to have wealth long term. I think it's interesting, though, that a woman could decide, like Prototype said, that she can tell me that I'm broke, or tell any man that they're broke, but they are not willing to hand over any money during the dating process. Now, some women do, but most women are not looking to do that. So so when you had said lost in translation, I had that question, but why do you think that guys don't really care about how much money that they have. Why did you say that, Loss?
Because guys already know they can make it. Again, you know what I'm saying? It's a mindset. It's a scarcity mindset, like Sir Hill said. Broke is a state of mind. But if you're used to getting money, a whole lot of money don't really mean nothing to you. It's just like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. It's one of those situations where people gravitate to folks around money because they think they had to get it some kind of way. But at the same time, they think that that's all the money they're ever going to get, And I think that's probably where that scarcity mindset comes in. And most of the time when women gets money, it's pretty much, it's outside of their job. It's pretty much finite unless they own a business or something like that. They're always thinking that there won't be any more money to be had. Well, that's how this whole entire world works. Everybody gets money. It's just whether or not you want to work hard enough to get it, or if you're smart enough to get it. That's all that is. So somebody who's used to getting money doesn't impress them. Yeah, if I want to go out, I give you an example. If I wanted to go out and make a quick $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000, I know what a casino is. You know what I'm saying? I know where that roulette table is. I got a system. If I want to get it, I get it. So I don't sweat it. When I used to go to the dog track, I said, I already got a system. I already know how to get it. It's no big deal. But at the end of the day, if somebody doesn't understand your skill set or understand how you get it, then in their eyes, money is finite. So at that point, that's when they start projecting their insecurities onto you about them being broke, calling you broke, trying to manipulate you out of yours. Does that make sense? You're on mute, Humble Dad.
My bad, I missed it. So saying that Prototype, do you agree with that men don't really care about money because they know that they can make it? So this is the main question that I had. Would men go get money if women don't require it? Let's see. Would men go get money if women didn't require it? Let me get that right. Just simple as that. Why you say that? Expound upon that for me.
Because men like sex. You know what I'm saying? It's easier for men to get sex when they have money. You don't have to talk as much. You don't got to have as much charisma. You don't got to, say as much. You don't have to do as much when you get and when you got status, and money is, can be equated to having some type of status. You know what I mean? So when you have status, you don't have to work for women. You know what I'm saying? You just have status, and that gets you women. And money is a way to show status. So no, I don't think men would go and get money if there was no women.
But aren't there? Go ahead.
No, I'm saying. So you're saying money is the social lubricant in that situation between men and women. Is that correct?
No, I'm just saying. I mean, of course, you could buy it, right? You could buy it. You could buy a woman, but I'm saying even like guys with money don't spend money on women. You know what I'm saying? It's status. Like, so if you have money, it's status. It's a symbol of status. So the guys with status get sex, and that's really all women really want is status. And if they're asking for money, then they just don't like you. It's just all transactional.
So you don't think that men give pay money to women? Did I hear that right?
No,
men that have money do trick.
Men that have money don't have to spend money on women. They just give it to them free. But women can have sex with men with money without making. They make broke men spend money.
So, for example, I was listening to it was a rapper. He a famous rapper. I don't know if it was ASAP Rocky maybe, and he was saying that he has partners that fly women out from Instagram, and they have sex with them or whatnot, and give them 15 G's. So
I mean,
that's the dude that has money.
He don't have to. He don't have to spend that money.
So why would he do it?
Just to make so she can run her mouth and say, "I'm the man." It's marketing.
Ego.
It's marketing, right? So like, if I give one girl 15 racks, right? That means I'm smashing her whole entire crew. You know what I'm saying? Because she's gonna go back and be like, "Oh, blah blah blah. He's this, he's that." You know what I'm saying? That's status. Women are good marketers. In marketing, who run that who run marketing. Women, they run marketing. They're in every ad, like, you know what I'm saying. So if one woman is speaking for you, you don't got nothing to say. It's marketing. It's just putting your money in position.
Interesting. So, Harold, what you got?
I've got a different spin on that. So I think there's some truth to that. But so I don't want to testify tonight because, I don't want the audience to know everything about Sir Hell Speaks. But I will say this. When you liked, you don't have to spend no money. And this is just the real truth. Now, if you choose to, you're doing this because it fuels your ego. It feels good to do it. It feels good to be able to slap 5,000. It don't mean nothing. Go to a restaurant, do your thing, and you ain't bothered by it. Like, men use money to fuel whatever's going to fuel our egos, right? Whatever that looks like. So this is why you see guys go to the strip club, and they'll spend a couple of weeks working for thousands of dollars, but just to get that dopamine hit, will take a stack and throw it in the air because of what it makes them feel like. So, like, I don't think it's that men use money to get women. I think that women are a quick fix to a dopamine rush in our ego that it's hard to live without. I think that's what it is.
So you're saying that men go get money so that they can help women get their dopamine fix, which in turns get them the sex.
Men don't care about the women's dopamine. We don't care about them like that. We care about our dopamine effect, and
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's the transaction.
Yeah, we'll create a transaction to get them what they need so they can give us what we need. But it ain't about them. It's about us. A whole lot of dudes with those money don't know them women's middle name. Some don't even know their last name. Depending on the situation, he might not know the first name. You see what I'm saying? So it just depends. Like, when you got that kind of money, you wouldn't be throwing money like that if you cared about these women. You see them as objects. You see what I'm saying? So it's an ego hit.
That's a good point. Dwayne, what you got?
Appreciate you, Sir Hill. I appreciate that perspective because I was wondering why I couldn't relate to this conversation. Because no, it would be a drought, okay? Because I am not making it rain anywhere like that. Just for anybody's ego, my ego, for their ego, for the other dude's ego. Because even in that, I think the dudes make it rain for other dudes too. Yeah, I like, man, Proto, appreciate you. Thank you for chiming in with the expression. The reason why I say that is have you ever seen another dude run over and pick up the money? No, you don't. It's only the females because it's for the females, but they know other guys watching. I'm just saying. No, they're not watching. Okay, they're not watching. They're watching. They see it, and then they're like, "Dang, that's rent right there on the floor." But I can't go get it. I can't touch it. That ain't for me.
My dude, listen, we on the same wavelength. I'm like, hold on, that's definitely insurance right there. That's a good point.
But don't go touch it because it's gonna make you look sad because it ain't for you. But it's for you as well because they got it and they could do it like that. So they flexing the same thing. They flexing in a different way.
Because for me, it doesn't make sense to me why somebody would go throw money away to some strippers. Because they couldn't just be doing it for the women. Why would they be doing that for the women? The women are not trying to go. Thing. Yeah, it's an ego thing. For who though? Who are they actually? But what they do? You think that men would go to the strip clubs if there was nobody other than the strippers there?
Yes.
Yeah.
To throw money at a woman. Yeah. And nobody else is there. Where's the ego though? How is you feeling your ego? There's nobody there to impress.
Well, he's make you feel good. They're good at selling the fantasy.
I'm confused. It don't make sense to give a person money that didn't earn it.
I mean, it depends on what they're doing. I live in Atlanta, man.
You do. I live in Texas.
I understand why you might be disconnected, though. You know what I'm saying? Yes,
but it's not disconnected. I literally, I mean, I've been in Atlanta before.
I think you're too saved to even step.
No, I haven't always been saved, and
I've you're so far removed.
I've been to strip clubs before. Even when I was a young dude, I was like, I don't understand why I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make sense to me to give. I guess because I could get women. Like, I don't understand why I'm giving money to somebody that I could probably pull on the street. And even so, this is not the type of woman that I would.
Well, you know, most men in strip clubs are married.
And I wasn't married.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so yeah, you're saying that, right? Because you're not married, right?
But I was in one.
But most men in the strip club are married, so it's all convenience. That woman makes them feel a certain type of way that their wife's not doing. You know what I'm saying? Or it's like they look better than what they got at home. You know what I'm saying? And they're getting that experience. This woman's rubbing on me, doing this, dancing on me. You know what I'm saying? I could get the load off at the crib, but you know what I'm saying? Like my whole visionary is coming from this experience right here, and I can go home and just bend over and let me finish, and I'm thinking about what I was doing earlier. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations. But no, as a single man who can pull women, no, you're not gonna want to be in a strip club because you can pull them outside. But for a guy who needs a little bit, who don't have the time and the efforts to really go outside and pull something and make it worth it, then I can understand him going to the strip club. Most guys in the strip club are married.
Where did you get this stat,
bro?
Show him your membership.
Let me help you out, man. Let me help you out, man.
Okay.
Let me help you out, man. Listen, what men are getting from the strip club is what's known as the girlfriend experience. You know what I'm saying? You can't get that at the house. Now, I will say this though: the attendance at the strip club is down because of what we have today in the advent of OnlyFans and the hub and Instagram models or whatever. It kind of desensitized guys, because back in the day, before they had the internet and all this other stuff, in order for you to see what you see today on Instagram, you had to go to pay to see that. You see what I'm saying? And the girls back then were modest, so you wouldn't see none of that. So in order for you to do it, it's pretty much like a tradition. Guys go to the strip club, on bachelor's night or whatever, on his bachelor night before he go get married or whatever. Pretty much like a tradition thing. But outside of that, most guys ain't going to the strip club like that no more. The attendance is down.
All right, so then that's why I'm with Dwayne. So then it got to be trying to impress other dudes. Like I don't. How would it not be to impress other dudes going to a strip club and throwing?
Why are y'all thinking about other? What is that with y'all and other dudes impressing? What is up with? Like, I'm confused.
Well, because I'm processing the prototype. Because I've been in strip clubs and like dudes are just throwing money to this woman, right? You can do that on the street. You can just walk up to a woman and give her money. They don't look
that good. Strippers look.
I'm saying a beautiful woman. Bro, you seen these clips where it's the gold diggers and they coming up to the car with it. Well, they talk to them. These guys talk to them to see if they are gold diggers, right? And the woman, a lot of, I don't know how many, but the clips that they roll out, the woman said, "Nah, I ain't trying to holler at you," right? And then when they see the car, they're like, "Oh, this yours. Let me get some of that. Would you spend money on me?" Like those are women that are in the car and they asking for money. That's not no strip club. So I'm saying you could go up to a beautiful woman.
Running into that look of a woman is not common. Beautiful women are not common. They're not. Attractive people are not common. I've gone plenty of places. You don't just run into attractive people. I mean, unless you're in Houston, I guess. But everywhere else,
beautiful women, bro.
Huh?
You go to California.
California's a different spot. I've been to Dallas. I mean, like I said, but
you haven't been everywhere in Dallas, my dude.
I've been to Dallas more than enough. The thing about it is, you got a group of girls in the strip club, and there's regular girls in the strip club. So you're flexing for women. Like, you're not flexing for men. You're flexing for women. So the other strippers can see you. So those, like, it's all about, oh, he got money. you know what I'm saying? It's a game. He got money. I think he'll spend money on me. What I got to do to get his money? And he's like, I tricked you. Yeah, I threw that money in the strip club. But when we get outside of here, I'm not going to spend any money on you, but you're going to give me the draws and I'm going to hit it twice. And then I'm not going to talk to you no more. You know what I'm saying? Because 2 times this is all I needed. And then I'm going to go to the next girl. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's going to happen. Like, so yes, I'm going to throw that money and that's your marketing. That's your marketing budget. You know what I'm saying? And then after when you spend your marketing budget, you reel them in. Hey, I got a couple salmon. I got some trout. Bang, I'm going to fillet them up. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm out of there. You know what I'm saying? After I eat, on to the next meal, you know, build up the next marketing budget. But it don't got nothing to do with impressing men. I don't know what's good with y'all dudes. Like, I'm confused on why y'all want to keep putting men in this equation. I mean, just say how y'all really feel. Just say.
I am literally saying how I feel. I mean,
if y'all like guys, I mean, it's cool. It's
really,
cool.
bro.
I don't judge. You know what I'm saying? I understand y'all on the red side of town, like, you know what I'm saying. But I think they accept you over there too, right? I mean,
well, what in the world? Listen, what I'm saying is, like I said, if you're saying that it's a game play, it's a play game, right? Like, okay, that it's still. You're spending money in an establishment and there are beautiful women outside of the strip club is what I'm saying. No, whatever the case may be, dude, if you go to clubs, there are beautiful women at clubs. And
you throw money. People throw money at the club.
Okay. So, but I'm saying to go to a strip club specifically, right? If it's in a club, it's men and women, right? They throwing money. They're trying to impress the women, right? To come to them. But at a strip club, there's no reason to impress the stripper. Her job is for her to dance for you.
Yeah, but you're trying to get her out of there.
You and every other dude.
Exactly.
Yes, but if you have it, if you're showing her you got it more than any other dude, you're trying to get her out of there so you can fulfill your fantasy.
So that goes to my point then. If you're sitting there trying to make it rain, is every dude making it rain?
No.
Okay. Therefore, in a club,
you trying to win.
Men, you are now trying to put yourself in a marketing position where you're able to market yourself better than the women.
Than the other men.
You're
marketing yourself to the women.
You're from a competitor standpoint. Okay.
From a competitor standpoint, is Pepsi marketing to Coca-Cola? No, but they're marketing to the consumer, saying I'm better than Pepsi.
Hold on, but whenever they strategize, what they're strategizing for is to be better than the competitor. How can we outcompete the competitor? How can we do better than the competitor? Hey, if I take 2 bands, if I take 5 bands, would I make it rain more than the next?
Don't say bands anymore.
Again, I don't know. So this, I'm glad you said that, right? Because I don't know. I have no idea.
It's evident.
No, but as for that environment, so y'all are sitting here talking about as for there's attractive women in the strip club. For me,
no. Prototype said that. I said that.
No. I know. I get it. There's attractive women everywhere. There's attractive women inside the strip club, outside the strip club. There's attractive women. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. But I would say it's what your taste is. So it might be a 10. She is a 10. But once she's on that stage and going up and down that pole, no, not a 10 to me. That's my preference. So she is definitely not marketing to me. And I'm not in there trying to compete with any other dudes, trying to give money to draw their attention.
Dwayne, this ain't a conversation for you, bro. Go back to church. This ain't your conversation, bro.
You know what this is? This is a conversation for men. Because from the way that I look at it is, whenever I go in there and I'm looking at other men, and I see the way that other men look at women.
When are you in there? When's the last time you gone in there?
You know what? That's a good question. I went there probably about 8 years ago with my father-in-law.
Okay, be cool then.
So as for being cool, what I noticed is that it's not for me, because I don't know about y'all. Have y'all looked at a thirsty dude look at a female? Have y'all looked at a thirsty dude That ain't up to no good. Look at a female. For me, that's one of the most unattractive things. Like as for if I was to be looking at a woman like that, or better yet, I don't surround myself with friends that look at other women like that. That's where I'm at right now in the stage of my life. I don't surround myself with people that or dudes that look at women like a piece of meat, because that's what the strip club is to me. Is you're just sitting there like you're just sitting there watching a rotisserie. That rotisserie turn around, okay, and you're sitting there drooling. That's or you at that all you can eat meat place where they come around with the meat on the stick, and you just say, "Let me get some of that one. Let me get some of that one right there."
You're using thirsty wrong.
I'm using appetite. I'm using an appetite.
You're using thirsty wrong. A thirsty dude is a desperate dude, and it's a weird dude, right? But a dude who is just throwing money, it's kind of, you throw the money, you act like you don't care about it. You can't.
Okay, I'll put it like this.
Both.
Forgive me. And I'll step down. You could have got some water to drink at the house. Remember whenever you said the fountain could bend over and you could get your drink right there? That's what I'm talking about. But instead, you go to the fountain at the strip club to get yours.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just make so you go to the strip club, you weed out all the conversation. You don't need to be polite. You don't need to have social skills. You get straight down to make me feel great about myself. That's why people go to the strip clubs. It takes out all of the work and effort and energy that you got to do for work and for family. That's what people go. Now listen, I'm not an advocate for this. I just know how people and why people do what they do. Like you go to the strip club, you cut out all that extra stuff, all the pretending, all the fake questions, all the small talk. Here go this money, render me a service. We know what this is about. And you're honest about what you're going to provide. I'm honest about what I want. And that's what we're going to exchange. So it's different. People don't go to strip clubs to think. They go to strip clubs to have fun and to relax. And I will say this, a humble dad, now this is going to be a little bit off script. I think this is why every wife to some degree should provide a stripper experience to their husbands. And the reason why I say that is if a man's gonna make it rain, let him give it to you, because you have catered yourself to make him feel how he needs to feel. Now, here's what I'll say about this. Here's where wives mess up. Strippers have great customer service, and sometimes wives don't. If wives could learn the customer service skills of strippers, I think that the strip clubs wouldn't have as much business. Now that's an off-script thing, but I think that's a very valid point, fellas.
That's on script, my guy.
Come on.
Listen,
Sir
I think I done got an idea, dude. I need to go get me some.
Come on, Sir Hale.
Listen, that's it right there. It would definitely be a lot less men going to strip clubs to trying to figure out where can they go to get it is what their wives are supposed to be giving them, right? I can see that. Listen, that needs to be a next topic for you, Sir Hill. You know what I'm saying? I think it was a lady. She was on Latarius' couch. We'll talk about him in a minute. I don't know. Y'all know about Latarius? What's his last name? He's my wifey podcast, my future wifey's podcast. Okay, he's stationed here in Dallas, but anyway, he talked about, there was a lady on there that told him that she's working out because she wants to be a healthy wife, but she wants to be a stripper for her husband. That's what she said. And you know, and so I remember that. And so that make a lot of sense to me. So I wanted to, speaking of that sparked my thought process about Latarius. There's a guy by the name of Tony Gaskins. Y'all heard of Tony Gaskins, right? Prototype said, duh, right? Well, he's saying no to him, right? But Tony Gaskins currently is addressing Latarius's his ways, saying that he's calling him pretty much fraudulent on his podcast because he seems to say, what Tony Gaskins was saying, this is similar to what we're talking about, is that he's been having a podcast for about 4 or 5 years, something like that, but he's been divorced for almost 10 years. He's saying he's searching for his future wife. He's a man of great means, and he's in a lot of different spaces to meet women. But however, he is not even in the position where he is in a serious date. He did once, I think he broke up with her, or she broke up with him or something like that. And then he began to talk about that he also fornicates like every other 6 weeks or something like that, right? And this is the person that's saying that he is operating from a God perspective, right? So Tony Gass got. So my question, though, in all of that was, it was pertaining to men that get money, right? So if black men have more money, more options with money, why do they struggle to commit? There's another guy by the name of Anthony O'Neill. He's a money guru. I think that's his name. Are y'all familiar with Anthony O'Neill? Okay. He also too says he wants to be married, but he's been very wealthy for some time now. I want to say about 4 or 5 years. But he's saying that he's struggling to find someone. And if you read the book, and I've talked about this before, it's a book called Marriages for White People. And in the book, it's referring to that black men that make over $100,000 is less likely, twice as less likely to get married than a white man, right? So my question is, since if you have so many options, what's the struggle in the man committing? Talk to me, Proto.
You know, the more money you make, you buy a car with less miles. Unfortunately, when you make X, Y, and Z, money, those options within an acceptable age range don't have the mileage that you would like for your nice new shiny car. You know what I'm saying? So, I would say that's probably one close reason. Maybe they don't desire, family or whatever, but I'm not necessarily sure why, like, men who make money, because most men I know that make money are married, and they're married, and marriage is protection. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get married to protect yourself from from yourself. You know what I'm saying? From your little habits. You know what I'm saying? From your outside life. If you got a family at home waiting on you, you got more of a reason to go home instead of doing what men do after work and going down wiggly roads that we don't got no business going. Opposed to when you marry, you can just go home to your family. You know what I'm saying? You go home to your wife. If she's doing what she's supposed to do, you know what I'm saying? You should be able to go home. That's why men get married. But when you don't see things happening like that, then why get married, I guess.
That's what's up. What you got on it, Lost?
I put it to you like this. There's a difference between wife material and stripper material. Even the Bible tells you that a wife is a rare thing. You know what I mean? It's far above rubies. You know what I mean? And to find a woman that's worthy to be a wife is like threading the needle. Finding somebody that's worthy to carry your last name. You can find anybody to have sex with. That's no problem. The problem is finding somebody who can stimulate you mentally as well as sexually and spiritually as well too. So a wife is very, very different than somebody who you just pick up, whatever. You know what I mean? And not only that, a wife has a different mentality than anybody else. So it takes longer to vet a wife, especially as you get older, especially as you get wiser. Your picker is a little more honed into who's qualified to be a wife. I think there's a lot of guys out here who are making women wives who have no business being wives. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by the amount of divorces that we have. You can tell by the conversations that we have. There's no depth to them. But a woman who's classy, a woman who's wife material, they actually stand out. And most men who actually run across that, they have no problem putting a ring on it because they understand that is rare. So whenever we hear these conversations about women saying that men don't commit, no, they just don't commit to you because you're not wife material. Not because there's something wrong with his commitment. So I'm just being honest. I think somebody needs to come out and say it because a lot of people like to go around and tap dance and tiptoe around women's feelings instead of telling them the truth. To him, you're not wife material. It's because you haven't done the things in his eyes that makes him believe that he safely trusts you with his heart. So if we get back to women being ladies, you know what I mean, and being wives and being mothers, that type of thing, then the women will have no problem finding a husband. It's all about how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you treat others. There's a certain amount of calculus that goes into a man's thinking when it comes time to select a wife. You know, think about it. We spend more time figuring out exactly what type of car we're going to get than most times when we do trying to figure out what type of wife we need. And millionaires will tell you the greatest investment that you have in life is selecting a wife. And I actually believe that. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's probably the main reason why a lot of guys are taking their time with finding a wife, to make sure that you're actually wife material, especially if they have a blueprint in mind on what that looks like.
But then why with the but I'm saying they're not just struggling to commit, like men that end up getting to the bag first, they're less likely to, black men are less likely to commit.
It's right? Because they've honed their picker. You know what I'm saying? They know what qualifies and what doesn't qualify. Let me explain this. By the time you get to a certain level of money, you've built up a certain amount of skills, people skills. So you know when somebody's, shooting you to Shinola. You see what I'm saying? So I think a lot of times women bring their C game when guys are expecting an A game, and it's like, no, this ain't it. And a lot of times women don't understand that some of these guys have been exposed to classier women, and they don't know that is actually your measuring stick. And you're not measuring up to that. And I think that is the issue. Sometimes women don't understand that they're being measured by something that this man has already experienced or he's actually seen before. And they don't understand exactly what that is. They're thinking that you should just take me as I am, when he has a selection of other women over here that's that. But there's something that's just a little bit off with them. And that's probably the reason why he hadn't decided to make them wives yet. But like I said earlier, a real wife is very rare to find.
That's crazy. What you got, Sir Hill?
So there's some really good points. So just to add to that a bit, men do not have any issues committing. If you take a look at it, men are better at committing than women are. And this is not a dig. This is not trying to pit one against the other. Just means if you just look at the hardest jobs, look at things that require years-long commitment, men have no issue with commitment. The question here is great because it says, if black men have more options with money, why do they struggle to commit? Well, with money has come the option for men to go to therapy, for men to become exposed to more things. I'll give you an example. If you come up seeing, hear, the women you love say, and I got to come home and I got to cook and I got to clean and I got to raise these kids and so you associate things that women do with struggle. Let you find somebody who gets joy doing that. Find a woman who got joy. I love to cook for my man. I love being home with my kids. I love serving my man. The same words are being said with a different attitude towards it. Once a man experiences a woman loving to do the things that make him feel good and make him admire her as a woman, he can never go back in good conscience and be happy with a woman like that. So it's not that men are struggling to commit. The struggle is there aren't a lot of women who have that kind of hard and long, that kind of long-term mentality to commit and to build something like that. Like a lot of women today, they genuinely believe that the better they look, the less they have to be. And once a man is exposed to a woman who she is on the inside, it rivals how she looks on the outside, a man will wait until he finds that and will not waste his time with distractions. So I think that's really what's going on.
That's a phenomenal take. So it brought me back to what y'all said about the scarcity mindset and the broke mindset. So what you're saying is that there are women out here that have a broke mindset in the sense of what it is that they should be doing as it relates to being a wife, right? So they don't see being a wife as they see it as a broke mentality, meaning that they will lose by becoming a wife, as opposed to them operating in which it is that they was created to be, which is a wife and a mother, where they will thrive because they will be in that position. So if we could get, because that was going to translate to another question that I had, but I'll let Dwayne answer this one. But it's, how could a woman catch or be in the vicinity of, or even I guess catch is the right word, a man of great value in the sense of money? And what I'm hearing you say is that she needs to have a wealth mindset as it relates to her position as a wife and a mother, as opposed to seeing that position from a broke mindset. They call that closed-minded, right? So a growth mindset is what she needs to have. Knowing that when you become a wife, and you are a wife to a man that is a good man, as we said, right? You are about to experience something that very few women will get to experience, because you are operating in the position in which you were created to be in. Is that, I'm kind of saying what you was explaining?
Spot on.
Okay. So
to that point as well, is the distinction between a wife and a non-wife. This is a cleared. Listen, this is pay-per-view. You need to make this members only, Humble Dad.
Yeah.
The distinction every man needs to be aware of. A wife helps you to accumulate what's part of your purpose. A non-wife is a drain. Now, you won't notice this over time, but sooner than later, you'll start to feel yourself empty and less creative and less willing, less ambitious, because you are trying to pour into a sinkhole, and nothing you can do, no matter how much effort you can give, you're not going to get return on that. A wife, however, you give her a little bit and she'll take the little bit and expand it in such a way where she becomes an assistant to you in your purpose. She's a builder. Like if we go back to Proverbs, like that wise woman, she builds her house. Like when you think about building, think about the strategy it takes. Think about the intelligence it takes, the diligence it takes, the strength it takes, the motivation it takes, the willingness to architect something and to stick it out until it's built. And then it's not just for her, it's for the people she is with to benefit from it. So you'll see the clear differences. A girlfriend wants to take from what you have, but a wife will add to it. Now, we always say men are givers, but here's what distinguishes wives between girlfriends. A wife is a giver too.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? And so if a man finds a woman who gives to him, and we ain't talking about money, we know that, but she gives him stuff and she protects his heart and his interests. Oh man, you find that there is no man walking away from a woman like that.
That's a lie. I would have walked away with plenty of women who was giving me their soul.
Giving you their soul?
But that means that you wasn't a good dude.
I wasn't.
Okay, then. So she was right. You was wrong. That's exactly why I made the preface of good man that gets this type of woman would thrive.
I think everybody's good to who they want to be good to. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, when I select one, then I'm good. But if you're not somebody I want to be good to, then, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to walk away from that, even though you're giving me and showing me everything I would want. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll mess around and drag you along. You know what I'm saying? Just in case, because I'm chasing something else and it ain't working out, but I'm keeping you in the back seat. You know what I mean? Just to keep me confident, keep me going, so I can get back out there and hit them streets. You know what I'm saying? So
that would make you not a good man, though.
I mean, that's how it was. So,
I'm with you. I'm saying that's what that would mean, though, right?
I mean, that was a time. Like I said, if I got something I wanted, then you're a good man for it. And I think everybody's like that. You know what I mean? Even women, right? They'd be like, "Oh, a woman's not submissive. Oh, she's submissive too. She want to be submissive too, and she's everything. Don't ask that man for no money. But for you, you got to spend all the bread. Like, you know what I'm saying? She wants your money. She don't like you. But for the guy she like, you don't got to spend nothing."
Yeah, agree. What you got, Dwayne?
Man, I was trying to do a quick little Google search on where do you put a fish on a boat after you catch it. Because this boy Prototype, he got that fish on the line and just put it back in the water.
Dip it back in there and let it get wet some more. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, my bad. Oh man. So I think the problem is options. So yeah, the problem is options. Once you do up your finances, your options broaden. So you can't really travel the world if you ain't got much money, right? So you get out your neighborhood. The further you get from your home is based upon the answer your capital typically. So also I'll say from the educational standpoint, like what you're saying from the females, the place in which they're getting their education or influence is trash. It's absolute trash. So they are learning how to get the bag in many different ways, but not really learning how to acquire the skills in order to, like Sir Hill said, build a home. So in that, it makes themselves low value while seeking high value men or high valued people, or even as for women, there's other high valued women that they could surround themselves with, meaning high values women, but they don't seek that. So for the men, it makes it much more difficult because, just like you said, Lost, once you start earning that money, you have acquired skills and you've learned how to maneuver, and your picker is what you called it. You could detect some BS, and it's an imperative, because now, especially from the legal system, it's like, hey, if it don't work out, guess what? She done trimmed half your tree, right? She didn't help you plant it. She didn't help you water it. But guess what? She gonna prune the hell out of it once she leaves. So it's mighty tough. So it's difficult to traverse this terrain in which we're in right now in 2024, because the dating pool is like it's trash. And I'm so glad I'm married. I'm so glad I'm out of it. Go ahead, Prototype. You got to take it off mute so I can hear you now. Come on now.
How do you know it's trash?
You know, I am so glad you asked it. How do you think? What do you think the dating pool is like right now?
I don't know.
Just guess, because you're in the space, right?
No,
you are in this space.
You are in the space where men are talking about the problems and women are talking about the problems and people are talking about the problems.
Just look, man.
Come on.
I don't take any of that stuff for word. Like, people are telling their experiences, and that is what it is.
You know,
based off of my experience, I don't know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've never been on a dating app. Like, I've missed that whole. I don't know what the dating market is like.
Man,
so I'm wondering how you can say what the dating market is, because you're not in it.
Man, that's a good question, because I just heard you talk about how you just leave the damn fish on the line and throw them out the daggum boat, right? And that's how I used to be as well. But because of that, that's why I'm like, hey, I don't want any parts of that. So appreciate you, HD, Sir Hale, Lost, for being in a space where you want to talk about how can we encourage other men to not want to participate in that lifestyle, because that lifestyle is what leads to, man, I remember you know what, Prototype, you told a beautiful story the other day. It wasn't a story, it was a real life situation where you got your heart broken, and because of you getting your heart broken, guess what, you turned into that fisherman. You turned into that boy. You turned into that fisherman that got that. What's the ocean people that be looking out for the fishes and and be trying to keep people from harming the fish?
The whales, you know what I'm saying?
Thank you. My goodness, boy, he be trying to catch the good ones and mistreat them. So whenever I hear
that's
those
not
stories,
true. That's not true.
You just said that.
I didn't abuse. Like, when if I seen the girl was a good one, I wouldn't.
So you pulling back because you literally said that if I got her soul, I will throw it back.
No, I didn't say that. I'm not saying that's a good one though. Just because she gave me her soul, that don't mean she's a good one. I'm just saying.
But you said even if she was good and she gave me her soul, I would throw it back.
No, man. I said no. I said if she gave me her soul, that don't mean I'm a keeper. Just because she was good to me, don't mean I'm a keep her. That don't mean she's a good one either. You know what I'm saying? But if like I have a few little sisters that I was just, and they was just, when I get to talking to them, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've never done this, or I'm not like this, blah blah blah," blah. And then the story tracks out. You know what? I can't even do this to you. You know what I'm saying? Just I'll just let you know. I'll be your big bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'll do that. But for those that are, tasted the waters a little. Oh yeah, I'm dragging you all the way to the deep.
If we're being honest, this is a moment of transparency
I think
for men.
Prototype is being honest.
I'm saying if we're being honest,
Come on.
most men don't get to the place of maturity to appreciate a woman until you lost a woman, or you can look back and say, I didn't appreciate this one. And that's just real talk. So I can respect what our Prototype is saying, because I think the truth is most of us men, if we're not careful, we can be monsters. Like, we can use women just to make us feel good in the moment. We don't care. Like, we don't care if you leave. You know what I mean? We don't care if you will tell. I don't care if you leave. You know what I mean? So sometimes we have to go through that. And then this is why we're so strong with our daughters and our sisters, because we know how it really is. We know how vicious men can be. And we know how we can break a woman if she gave you her all. And no matter what she did, it's never going to be enough, because you don't even want her like that. So I think it's a real point. I think as men, we got to be honest about that, about our own selves. So women understand that we didn't just become good because we chose to be. Like, we had to make mistakes, and we had to mature and to grow. And that's why we speak with the strength we speak with.
That's really good.
Well done.
Go ahead, Dwayne.
No, well done, well said. And that's what I was wanting to get at. But Sir Hell so eloquently put, because that's the difference now, is once you know better, you do better. So I as for that immaturity in which you're talking about, right? It's like you go around with that conqueror mindset, like just want to gather as many trophies as you can get until you realize that, man, that's a whole human being over there, right? With a whole soul. My goodness, Grim Reaper. Like, so with it, it's like, now I look back at it, and now that's why I believe that we are here. Now, as for the other spaces for other women to be pouring into other women, that's also a valuable thing as well. How not to be placed in a situation like that, and how to know your value where you're not giving it up, and then they're just taking it and running off with it on to the next one. What Prototypes are? All it takes is 2 hits and next. 2 hits and next. So it's like, how do we now, for our daughters, for the women around us, be able to then encourage them today? That's the game.
Well, Dwayne, so can I add to this?
Oh no, there's some guys. I think 2 hits is generous. That you're being generous, because there's some guys that will keep going, understanding that the more you have sex with this woman, the more she'll be tied into you. You know what I'm saying? And then so he'll, that's really dragging on. I say 2 hits because I'm being generous, and I know if I do it a third time, we go together. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna stop at 2, because if we do it 3 times, now you're my girlfriend, and I feel some type of responsibility for your emotions. But 2 times, I don't feel responsible for your emotions.
I'm not sure what book Prototype has written, but I'm curious to read it to see the logic of these thoughts.
Listen,
but I was going to say,
definitely gonna put that bad boy back quick.
I honestly think we have to stop just saying, well, we need the women to point to the other women. I think that's the worst thing to do. And I'll say that because women typically don't educate women to be better women than they are. You rarely ever hear women encourage or educate women to be better women than they were. Now, you'll hear a man do it. You hear a man says, I want you to be a better man than me. Don't make the same mistakes I made. And so I said that to say, if we're expecting women to just teach other women, typically women pass on experience. They don't really learn lessons, though. So there's got to be a balance. There's got to be some men like us who are able to give you the straight up truth. And then we have to vet the women who are able to actually pour into our daughters. Because the truth is, like, depending on who that woman is, she has a massive influence, whether this is her daughter or her nieces or grandchildren. So we got to be careful. A lot of these young girls are messed up because of the stories they were told. You see what I'm saying? So I think we got to just stop saying we need the women to say that. No, we need good, godly, wholesome women who are healthy to empower women. Anything else, we're going to just create more of what we already have.
That's a good
You know,
point.
if I may, Humble Dan, if I
Mhm.
want to touch on something Sariel said.
Yeah.
You know, they call me the Deadpool of these YouTube streets. I'm gonna break the fourth wall. Here's the situation. I think we as men and sometimes as women, we do women a disservice because we tell women that their value is in their sex when it's really not, especially if they're being wives. Their value should be in how they can reach their man mentally. That is where their true power lies in order to influence him, in order to soothe him. The conversation that a mother should have with her daughter is that you sit down with your husband and you look him in his eye, and there will be days that he will tell you that he is just fine. Don't believe that. Here's what you do. Start asking him questions. Start bringing him things. Start being nice to him. You know, allow him to bring out that thing in him that he wants to get out. You know what I'm saying? That allow him to be a better man. That is a woman's true superpowers. The being able to run her household, the being able to be virtuous to her husband, being able to reach down inside him and pull out the greatness that's inside him, even though some days he may not feel like it. And I think we do women a disservice when we tell them all that they are is sex to men. And I think that is the problem. And that's the issue. Because if you listen to the conversations, the conversations are always centered around men cheating, which devalues her sexual marketplace value. Men providing to other women, which devalues her purpose. And think about it. If all you're bringing to the table is sex, and if other women can provide sex, then where else are you drawing your value from? You see what I'm saying? But if we teach women that you are more than sex and you are a healing center for your husband and your family, then what happens is you separate yourself from every other woman, and then you enter into the category of wife versus everything else. And I think if we get back to that conversation, that's when we'll start building families. That's when we'll start building better people along the way.
That's really good. That's really good. I'm thinking the word of safe space, right? When a man knows that his wife or his girl is a safe place to come and be able to talk, or just be able to sit in your lap, you know what I'm saying, or just sit in your space, and there's a calming effect, right? That's the type of thing that I believe that a lot of men are missing from their relationships, because women are not taught that, right? It's more so, as you said, Lost, that the woman thinks, okay, well, let me just give him some sex and that'll make him feel better. That may be a temporary fix, maybe, right? But when he is able to kind of talk to you about what's going on and how y'all can resolve that together and what it is that you can do for him, that is a very good place to be as a wife and as a girlfriend trying to be a wife. It does set you apart, because if you only think about that he wants sex, that's not a true statement. All men want sex, but that's not all we think about. Not good men. Good men think about what is my current goal, how can I get to it, and who can help me get to that goal, right? And if she's not it, then that's why you've been wasting your time with this particular guy. He doesn't think that you are the person that could get him to that particular finish line. And so if you change your behavior and don't just allow dudes to smash just because you want to keep him, and don't allow dudes to be in your space if you don't consider him a husband or even consider yourself a wife just yet. And I'm interested to know you guys' perspective on the position of money, because we talked about it must be the money, right? That if a guy doesn't have money, how can he show that he can be a provider? Like since we know that that's what women look for, she's gonna look for security, to kind of say this dude is somebody I can rock with. Is that the first thing that she should look for? What you got?
Do pimps have money?
Yes.
When they start pimping, do they have money?
Oh no, they do not.
What do they have?
Charisma, swag, conversation,
instruction,
direction, a plan,
loyalty.
That's how you show you're a provider. You be a pimp. And just not pimp. And this is why pimps are bad. Because you gotta be a pimp and not be a pimp. You have the power as a man to pimp women, but you don't do it because you're a good man.
What, Dwayne? Are you cleaning out your? Go ahead.
Notebook out.
I'm taking notes, boy.
Oh,
Humble Dad, I'm going on the fast directly following this stream.
man.
On the fast.
Sprinkle some holy water on, you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. He said be a pimp without being a pimp. So you gotta have a pimp mindset, but you can't do the things that pimps do and take their money.
I don't know what you heard about.
Don't
me.
put her on the track. you gotta be a pimp. You gotta be a pimp. And then when you're a pimp, you do what's right with your power, with your superpower. You know, you got to do the right thing with your superpower. You take care of her, you marry her, you treat her right. You know what I'm saying? But essentially, you pimp.
That is an interesting take. Sir Hale, what you thinking?
To all of the nuns and school teachers who have just heard what Prototype just said, that clip will be edited. But listen, so here's so here's the thing. How can a man show that he's a provider? Number one, we have to get back to realistic expectations. A provider's job is not to provide a lavish lifestyle. You get to that later. So can he take care of his basics? Like, here's a good thing that you know if he's a good provider. Does he have a budget? Does he have some financial goals? Does he have some financial disciplines? Is he able to say no? Those kind of things kind of show you signs of whether or not somebody is a provider. Like a lot of people think it's just you accumulate money so you can go spend it. A provider is not just thinking about how they can get it. They're thinking about how it's going to be distributed, how they can keep it. They're thinking 3, 4, 5, 6 steps ahead. So if you just look at somebody's pocketbook and say, well, he's making $125,000 a year, on paper, that may be fantastic. But what does his budget look like? Like, what does he spend his money on? I said this to a lot of people. Your text messages, your receipts, right? These things tell me who you are, right? So what does he do with this money? How does he honor it? Does he know how to put things back? Does he know how to delay gratification? Can he tell himself no? Will he be able to tell you no? So a provider is not necessarily the dollar amount, it's the discipline. And if he has discipline, then the dollars will come. That's what you want to look for. Can he take care of his basics? And wife, can you come in and then add the cosmetics? That's how you look for a provider.
So basically you saying, I'll just step it up. So what I saw when I saw what you said was, man, you have the plan. Like you basically you're the one that's going to buy the house, but she's going to decorate it. Right? Yeah, she's going to be the one that makes sure that the house is a home. That's really what
absolutely.
Okay,
got you. The wise woman, she builds it.
Yeah, that's what's up. Dwayne, what you got? Did you get in on this? Are you following up with what Prototype saying?
Well, it's going to be difficult because Sir Hale done did his thing, and then Prototype, boy, I don't know. It's hard to follow that one. Boy, goodness gracious, pimp! I gotta perm my hair. It's gonna be tough, but I'll figure it out. Oh man, how can a man show that he can provide without having money? Well, providing is a service that you give to someone who wants that service. Or if a person desires to be in a relationship with you, you have to be able to, Sir Hale said, think 3 steps ahead. I like circumspectively. To be able to think circumspectively, to be able to look all the way around and think all the way around, because checking your 6 is important too, right? And it's important to have somebody who's able to check your 6, and it's also important for you to be able to check your person's 6, right? Because there's certain things that they're not even aware of about themselves, that is out to get them. So even what you said, Sir Hale, about being able to put forth a budget plan. Whenever you are able to provide those things or be the supplement to the deficiencies in which your partners have, that's providing something, and it's providing a benefit, and it's providing the supplement for what the other person is lacking. And I believe that's what, I'm not sure if any of y'all on here got a perfect relationship. And any of y'all got the perfect
Sir Hale does.
Sir Hale, I appreciate you, because you've reached that milestone where you can actually say that. Because how many years did it take you now?
Today. Today.
That's right, Sir Hale. Tell him today.
Yes, yeah, but to be real, we all got deficiencies, right? There is no team that has everybody that is whole, full whole. So in it, we got to be able to have each other's back. So as for a provider in a good partnership is able to provide for the deficiencies in which your partners have, and being able, HD, I like how you said a safe space. Being able to have that safe space within a relationship to be able to provide that insight. Being able to provide that insight about the deficiencies in which that partner may have, or that you, or be open to be able to receive that insight about yourself in which you lack. So we all come into a relationship deficient in some areas. But what do we do whenever that person provides to you, or whenever you provide to that other person, in order to strengthen that relationship? So that's my take on it.
That's what's up, man.
That was fantastic.
Hey, somebody needs to run that soundbite right there. Fantastic. Put that on something. Hey, man, I appreciate y'all. So I'm thinking that overall, it's not really just about the money. It got to be how you spend the money. I got you. Oh, it's lost. You ain't okay. Go ahead, bro. My bad.
Yeah. Here's the thing. A way that a man can show that he's a provider, even though he's broke. The Bible said that wisdom is the principal thing. You know what I mean? Wisdom. If a man has wisdom, he has the ability to create a vision in which he can actually project that vision so other people could see it. I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, if you're getting close to retirement or something like that, he can say, "Hey, look, this is what I've set aside for retirement. Yeah, I've put aside going on vacation trips or whatever, but this is what I've done. To you, it may seem like I'm broke, but I've been diligent doing this. Now, let me show you how I got there." A person who has wisdom can actually show somebody how they got there. And even if they haven't got there yet, they say, "Hey, look, if you really want to do this, this is how we're going to do it." Sometimes you have to be able to sit down and, like Dwayne said, you have to have a plan and say, "Hey, look, this is how we're going to get there." You run into people all the time who always say they have a money problem, they have a relationship problem, they have a job problem, they have a family problem. You don't have any of those. What you have is a wisdom problem. Wisdom solves a lot of things. And how you actually apply that wisdom is how you can tell whether or not that person can be a good provider or not. A good leader asks difficult questions and holds himself and those around him accountable. That's how you know somebody is a good provider. They may not have it yet, but they say, "Hey, look, here's my plan. This is where we start at." I think last week on Black Men Unfiltered show, we did a show on 401k on how to start, dealing with money. Okay. And one of the main problems that we have in relationships are money fights, because people really don't understand how money operates. So I said, what you need to do is you need to figure exactly what money is for you. Does it answer certain things for you? Does it allow you to become somebody that you're not? Is it a psychological thing? You have to figure out exactly what that person's relationship to money is. Some people will take money and they will use it as an ego boost and tell the world, "Hey, look, I got money, see what I'm doing." Or if you don't have money, they'll use it as a negative motivator and say, "Hey, look, Mr. Jones's wife bought her a brand new Mercedes Benz. He must love her because he bought her a brand new Mercedes Benz. So guess what? Now you got to go out and you got to hustle so you can show the love that you have for your wife, just like Mr. Jones had for his wife. Now, here's the problem with that. There's a certain amount of wisdom that says, hey, look, in order for me to get that, there are going to have to be some changes. So that means in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to be away from home. Now, I know for a fact that your love language is quality time and physical touch. And if I'm not here, then guess what? You're going to feel neglected. And then at that point, you're not going to be receiving the love that you really, truly desire because I'm going to be away. So that way you face that person and say, hey, look, which one is it? Is it this material thing or do you want to build a relationship? Which one is it? And you allow that person to make that decision because once it's been made, then as a man, you go to work on either way. Does that make sense? So that's the main reason why wisdom is one of the key factors that a person can tell whether or not if they're broken, not if they're going to be a good leader or a good provider.
Yeah, that's good. Wisdom is always key. The part about wisdom is that you got to know how to get it. You know what I'm saying? And so wisdom comes in different forms, right? You can read about it. You can listen. You can get around people that know more than you. There's different ways. You can get and sit, listen to the word of God. You can read the word of God. One of the things that I've done to help me with becoming and having wisdom is I have me a mentor, right? And so my mentor, anytime that, we meet every Monday. I've talked about this before. Hopefully people paying attention to it. And Dr. Run, he's been married like 55, 57 years, something like that. And we just talk, every Monday I give him a rundown on what I did in the week. And he gives me wisdom straight from the scripture. And he'll say, this is what scripture say. Your situation, hey, this is what it say right here. And so it gives me a boost, even if I didn't have, I'm not rich by any means, but I'm not poor either, right? I'm able to be like, okay, I may not have what it is that I want right now as it relates to the money I'm building to that. I had to start over, right? And so it's like, okay, but if my mindset is not on a broke mindset, as we established before, and it's not about getting money. Matter of fact, those that are in business, if you're in business to get money, you won't make money, right? It is about the value in which you bring to whoever is wanting the item in which that you are providing. Same thing in relationships. You have to be valuable to that person in order for them to want to commit to you. And so if you have not prepared yourself to be of value, then you have prepared yourself to be devalued. So that's my take, and that's what we're talking about. And so it must be the money, but I don't think it is. It's more than that, right? So as we dip out, hey, tell the people what can they find you? Prototype on you.
Man, you can find me right here on Mondays and Prototype Dad Podcast on Tuesdays. So yeah, check us out.
That's a bit. Hey, you've been putting out a lot of clips, man. I've been enjoying looking at those. Good stuff. Good stuff. Applause on you.
Yeah, you can find me here on Mondays, the Humble Dad Podcast. Also, simulcasting on my channel as well. Lost in Translation Podcast. I'm also doing podcasts all over the place with Black Men Unfiltered, Sanctuary Podcast from Facebook, and a lot of other places. TikTok, you can catch me in the street. So navigate to the altar as well too. We have a group over there. We talk to men about making sure they prepare themselves for marriage and how to select a good wife as well. So, but like I said, we all over the place. If you can find me. I'm here. Just type in the name and you'll find me. That's how it works.
Thank you. Oh, hey, good work, homie. So hell on you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a privilege to spend time with the Humble Dad, with Prototype, with Lost in Translation Podcast, and to Dwayne Jones. Salute to the amazing chat. You guys can find me, Sir Hill Speaks, everywhere. I'm on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and TikTok, and I think Twitter, something else. I'm on all of them. Find me. What we do is we spend time talking about marriage, but we expanded the conversation to not just deal with marriage and relationships, but the mental health necessary to be good at any of those things. So find me. You guys will see more content coming out. Again, Humble Dad, thank you so much. It has been a pleasure being here.
Hey, thank you for being here. Dwayne, on you.
Yes, sir. You can find me on HD's wonderful channel, Enriching People's Lives, Monday nights. Also, you can find me at DwayneJonesPhotography.com. Thank you, beautiful people. I appreciate y'all.
That's a bet. Hey, appreciate you for being here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and everybody that's on the platform. Until next time, we out here. Deuces.
The boy is dangerous.
You don't seem to understand something.
The thing that I like most about being a dad is that I see that I'm about to impact the world.